Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video here on Bitcoin this morning. Hope you're having a great week so far. The markets have been a little bit mixed. I mean, yesterday we had a ton of headlines as well, but that in general what was to be expected, right? I mean, in general, and we talked about this quite often at the start of the week as well. At this point of time, if you take a look at the fundamentals. Which, by the way, Layer 0, interesting project. It's pumping right now, so it might be interesting to keep an eye on that. But fundamental-wise, the FIX is still on an uptrend. The volatility index, which just is a sign of general uncertainty, and the S&P 500 is still trading relatively low, even though there's a bit of recovery coming. And I want to speak about that a little bit later as well, because I do have a pretty strong opinion on that. And what that means for the crypto markets. But so in general, there's a lot going on. And for Bitcoin as well. I mean, yesterday was quite volatile. We had some headlines about tariffs, etc., pushing the price into this level right here at 79,000. But ultimately, the level held, and we ended the day relatively strong. And then over the course of over the course of this morning, during the EU session, the European session, we actually gained some strength as well, even though the volume has been slightly lower during that bullish momentum. The volume is down about 20%. But that's quite good. And I told you yesterday as well, to do a brief recap on my analysis. I told you, I think it's most likely that this was the bottom, right? And before that, I told you that we were most likely going to hold that level. So I think in general, we have been pretty spot on. But the question is, what's next? All right. So far, we've actually defended the bottom well, and we actually, after getting that mean reversion, right? So just usually when the price falls down a lot in a very short period of time, you get some mean reversion. But then after the mean reversion, which I think was this first move right there, we actually got some bearish pressure because of the headlines, and we caught that very well as well. So there was some real bidding coming in, and you can, for example, also see that the open interest for BTC USDC is going up quite a bit. So that is some sort of an indication, usually, that there's some bidding coming in from the US as well. And even yesterday, when the stock market fell down, Bitcoin held up relatively well. So those are all positive signs. But now the question is as well, can we actually, is Bitcoin strong enough to get a continuation of that into next resistance levels at 87 and 90,000? And that is a difficult question. However, I would say the answer is yes. And for that, I want to get back to the stock markets. I think in general, the stock markets, they've fallen about from bottom to top, I think about 7 to 8%. No, actually 10%. Usually, statistically speaking, when the S&P falls down 10%, 10 to 11% is usually kind of the great area. Usually it bounces up, all right? And that's kind of what we're seeing right now as well. It's a little bit early, but that's also what I would suspect is most likely to happen this time around. There is a lot going on in the world, but I still think the S&P 500 is very strong, and I don't see enough reason to suspect that this is the start of some sort of a massive continued dump. So that's another reason why I do think it's most likely that Bitcoin is going to be able to hold this support and actually get some more bullish momentum. Now, I will be live streaming this afternoon because we do have some important data which could change this trajectory, and that's the inflation rate and CPI data, which is coming out at 130 UTC plus 1. So convert that to your own time zone if you can. But I'll be live streaming during that as well. That matters, all right? We would love to see some lower than expected inflation rate data. If that happens, I think a move like this is guaranteed. If that doesn't happen, if it's higher than expected, then there's a chance that we revisit 78,000. But for now, I would suspect that 78,000 as a support will still hold, and that we can actually still expect this move somewhere down the line. Those are my thoughts. That's all the thing you need to know for now. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.